Hey guys, welcome to today's episode. This episode, I talk with Coby, who is a content creator that is changing everyone's lives with this kind of content on Instagram and other social media platforms. He makes videos that really open the eyes of the viewer and help them actually understand more about life and more about how they can change themselves. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode, and let's get right into it.
Introducing the JK Podcast.
Coby, how you doing today, man?
What's up, dude? How you doing? I'm doing absolutely fantastic. Very thankful and blessed to be here.
It's awesome to have you, man. I've seen a lot of your content, a lot of your stuff on my feed, and it's truly remarkable to see what you're trying to do here and the positive view that you have towards people. What kind of started you to do this kind of content? Like, what was kind of that influential point that put you in this?
I'd say the things that I'm doing now, I've really been wanting to do my entire life. However, I'd say it all really started the night that I turned 18 years old, because I was laying down in bed and I was thinking to myself, okay, I have two options with my time. Now that I'm basically an adult, I have two options. I can either continue wasting my time playing video games all day, consuming pointless content, or focus on becoming the best version of myself, actually doing the things that I want to do and creating my legacy. There's a bunch of other external events and factors that have contributed to it, but I say that's really where it started, was the night I turned 18 years old. And then next week I actually turned 19 years old, which also marks 1 year since I've created everything that I have now. So pretty thankful, pretty hyped up and excited for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's awesome to see because I have a similar story as well. When I was, if I can guess the right age, 15 and 16 years old, I was playing video games nonstop. I was so obsessed with like soda. I would drink like 4 cans of Coke a day. I'm not even playing. Like I was not healthy. I wasn't like big or like not in like terrible shape. I was still doing sports and stuff at the time, but sure, physically I was somewhat there, but mentally I was not at all. My mental state was not in a good place. Um, Eventually, it just kind of came to me that it just kind of it's just a random click that happens. I think everyone has that point where they just randomly have that point where they're just like whoa, I need to change shit right now. I need to change my life because I can't continue to be on this direction. I'm gonna ruin my life if I'm on this direction. That's what happened for me, and I just had to change. And I think a lot of people get that influence eventually in their life, and some people they won't. Unfortunately, it's
Yeah,
difficult.
100%.
Yeah, and I think especially with your message towards the people here, um, you're trying to kind of break them out of that, right?
Yeah, and that's just the biggest thing is, even though I do social media, I need you consuming content to find my content. But at the end of the day, my main goal is to get you detached from social media, because everybody is so attached to it. They're mindlessly scrolling. They don't realize the amount of time that they're actually investing into social media, that they're investing into TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and they go down this rabbit hole of consuming content that doesn't even add benefit to them. And one
Yeah,
thing that I did that I also try to encourage other people to do is become mindful on what you are consuming. The content that you watch, is it allowing you to, are you learning from it? Are you gaining information? Or are you simply passing by time because you don't know what else to do? Because you're overwhelmed by all these other things and all these other external factors that apply to us in our lives.
yeah. It's especially in today's world. And I like to compare this. I saw a video of yours recently where you talked about kind of ancestors looking at your perfect or your self right now, like just kind of viewing you in spectator mode or whatever. And it's funny to look at it that way because you know our ancestors, if they were here, if they somehow time traveled here in the future, they would have no idea. They would not understand what we're doing. They would hold so much regret. They'd be very disappointed and they'd be so confused. Why do we spend hours a day looking at a phone, a little tiny screen? Like, why are we doing this? They would not even, it would be beyond their comprehension. That's how bad it is. And it's it's I think social media right now is at one of the most detrimental times of our lives, especially with the younger generation coming up and, people in my generation. And it's it's a good thing but also a bad thing, because if people didn't see your content and the other self-improvement content, they would not want the influence of starting to work on themselves. But if people continue to look at all this content and all these bad content and all this just junk, they're going to go on that path. There's two separate ways, and it's harder to go on the self-improvement path of content than the
Exactly.
other path.
I think now, never before in history has it been this easy to become the best version of yourself. It has never been this easy to become successful. It's just about utilizing your resources and avoiding distractions. The issue is that in history, it is also there's been the most distractions ever.
Yeah.
You have obviously social media. You have the things that they put in our foods that distracts us physically. We have all these false narratives that they want to tell you. Don't work out, consume content, just don't follow your dreams and goals because they're not really realistic. They shove a lot of these things into your mind and program your mind to make you think as if you're not capable. However, when you just apply yourself and put in the hard work and do what you know needs to be done, before you know it, you're going to become much more successful than you were 7 months ago. I've only been doing what I do for about 7 months. I'm completely new to this. It's not like I'm experienced. The only thing that I know 100% to be certain is my mindset. And this is a big thing that I preach about whenever I do social media or any of my businesses or anything that I'm doing, even non-business related, is I can achieve anything that I want to, all because of my mindset. And I know it's a cliche thing that you hear a lot in movies and stuff, but it's genuinely 100% true. I have full
Yeah.
control over my emotions. I have full control over my actions. I have control over every single aspect of my life. And so I don't say this in a cocky or arrogant way, but if you want something, you can do it. You just have to apply yourself and be consistent.
Yeah, that's a thing, man. People have such difficulties with analyzing themselves and realizing that anything is possible. It's pretty funny, and this could be, I don't think it's controversial, but it's just another person's experience. But there's a video where Kanye West actually said that I believe that I could do anything. I could stop, my music career to pursue the NBA. I believe that I could do that. And the interviewer that was interviewing him was like, no way, you're crazy. You wouldn't be able to do that. A lot of people don't understand this mindset that you could do literally anything at all. You could, if you wanted to be a goddamn garbage man, you could do that. If you wanted to be the president of the United States, you could do whatever you put your mind to. And it's really that simple. People get so goddamn complicated and so distracted with all this junk that they don't realize that they can actually put in all this effort to achieve whatever they want. And it's a sad thing to see, because I want people to have that same mindset. But the thing is, if everyone had that mindset, it'd be very difficult for everyone to kind of go on this path in life.
I think everything works in a statistical way.
Mhm.
Everything is meant to be the way it's meant to be. And it says not everyone can be a CEO. Not everybody can be a multi-billionaire. Not everybody can run all these companies and do all these things. You need people who obviously allow society to function. However, if an individual wanted to do X thing, they can do it. They,
Mhm.
they can 100% do it. But the average person doesn't want to put in the hard work and effort. Everybody has goals, everybody has these dreams and visions, and they think to themselves, it'd be really cool if I had this thing. It would be amazing if, I had $1 million, if I could travel, if I could have this business, if I could do social media and be an influencer, if I could do all these cool things. But the second they start it, they realize how hard it really is and how much work they have to put in. They disregard it and give up instantly. And I don't blame them. I mean, it is hard doing everything. The only times it's very crazy because I'm only 18 years old, and I'm not saying I'm a multimillionaire because I'm on the verge of being homeless. I'm a brokey, but I already have people saying that, oh, the only reason why you're successful is because you have rich parents. They pay for everything. You don't. You live in your parents' basement. Who are you? You're just a random kid. And I'm just like, people have that mindset because they know that they are incapable of doing it themselves. And a big thing that I always say is you should never surround yourself with somebody who is radiating negative energy. There's a difference between someone humbling you and just straight criticizing you. If anybody criticizes you for trying to become the best version of yourself, they shouldn't even be in the picture in the first place.
Yeah.
They're an NPC. They're a bot. They're just another random person. Don't have hatred for them, but just cut them out. Cut out all the negative people.
Yeah. It's so important to have people around you that are in the kind of same vicinity or same mindset of you. Because when you have all those negative people, and regardless of whatever you're pursuing, you're going to have people that are going to say that to you. You're going to have the person that says that you're not going to be able to do this. You're going to have the person that says that you don't have the capabilities of actually achieving that goal. It's always going to be there. It's whether or not if you are actually willing to care about it enough to actually ignore the shit out of that and just pursue whatever you're trying to do. I always say this. You know yourself better than anyone else. How is someone going to tell you what you believe in? How is someone going to tell you what you're capable of? You know yourself better than anyone in this world. You know what you're capable of. Who gives a shit about what people think? Who cares? They don't even know what they're going to do. They can't even figure it out, so they bash you for it. It makes no sense.
Exactly. And it all just comes from a state of insecurity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a whole insecurity thing. It's just a whole jealousy thing because they're too afraid to actually go after what they want to go after, so they have to project it onto something. It's I think that kind of mindset that people have, that kind of the crab in the bucket kind of mentality, is something that is growing, and it's something that's becoming more popular. I think we see a lot more people that are haters on people more. And I would say a large impact of that is because of the internet. And it's difficult for people to pursue those things because they hear all this negative talk and then they try to block it out. But it starts to get to them because they're working hard and they might be going for years and just super long times. And they're like, maybe they're right. Maybe I can't do this. It's hard to get out of that mentality. Do you think that people what would you say to someone that has that mentality? How do you think they can get out of that?
So I think in the first place, and this mindset isn't something that you can just develop overnight. It takes time. It takes a lot of being consistent to develop these habits because your habits dictate your subconscious thoughts. So I think that if you are letting what other people say, who are keyboard warriors on the other side of the screen, you've never seen these people, you've never had an in real life conversation. If you are letting these people dictate your thoughts and emotions, then maybe it's not meant for you. And I say it's because you, at the end of the day, you have full control over your own thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
If someone says something negative to me and it makes me mad, they did not make me mad. I allowed what they said to impact me and make me mad. So believe me, there's times where I'll read hate comments and I'm like, dude, I'm just being positive. Like, what is this person doing? But I realize anytime I respond back, all I'm doing is feeding into the system. That's what they want me to do. Because what you regularly do will become a habit. And once you're consistent with anything, consistency isn't just a positive aspect. It could also be a negative aspect as well. If you are consistently negative, you are going to be a negative person. And the same applies with how you respond to negativity. Because at the end of the day, negativity is just suppressed positivity. As we just said, it comes from a state of being insecure. So if you are letting negative energy and negative comments dictate your belief within yourself, then hey, I mean, why would you be trustworthy running all these businesses, running all these companies, if you're letting comments get to you? So my advice is you got to become aware on your thoughts. You got to become aware on your habits and the way that your brain operates. You got to do some deep and inner thinking. I think anybody can overcome it, but if you cannot get over that simple fact that no matter what you do, you're going to get hated on, then this realm isn't for you. This realm of success and truly living life, being happy, might not be for you because life is about adversity. Not everything is going to be positive, uplifting, motivational thing. Sometimes life is going to be rough. And it's going to toss you around and do whatever it wants with you. And that's just the game. But you got to learn to enjoy the struggle. enjoy the hardship, because all you're going to do is grow and learn. So any negative situation, you can always turn into a positive one. The way that I see it, think about it. People leaving hate comments, people hating what I do, even though I'm one of the most positive, most energetic people you'll ever encounter. Oh no, I got to leave a negative comment. All that's doing is feeding back into the algorithm. All that's doing is allowing me to make an impact onto more people. So who wins at the end of the day? Sure, he might let out some anger and some hostility on a comment, but who really wins at the end of the day? Me or the other keyboard warrior on the other side of the screen?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And it's funny because I can't even wrap my head around. I don't think I've ever written a hate comment on anything in my life. And I can't really imagine the mindset that someone has to do that. They have to take time out of their day to go on their phone. I'm assuming they're watching on their phone. Click on the comment section and start typing out a thing and sending it into the comment section.
I
And it's a
think
hateful thing. It makes no sense to me.
I think the reasoning why there are a lot of hate comments is because the access to social media has never been this great.
Mm.
Literally everybody has access. They're giving iPads to toddlers.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you really think
Oh my
about it,
goodness.
believe me, I used to be back when I was 8 years old, 10, 12 years old, I used to be trolling people online because I'm playing video games, because you're a
Yeah.
kid, you don't. So I think the reason why there's more so of that are because there's little kids on the internet all day rather than being an actual kid. When I have a kid, my kid is not going to be an iPad kid. I'm not letting my kid have any access to social media until they prove to me that they're worth giving it. But the issue is that nowadays, which there's nothing wrong with this, but both parents work 24/7. They don't have time to take care of their kids, so they send them
Mm.
to daycare and say, "Here, shut up, take an iPad." So
Yeah.
their kids are being raised and programmed by an already toxic environment, and all it's doing is amplifying. But at the end of the day, this is what they want. The people above, they want you to be consumed by this, because the more people they have hooked onto to their devices, social media, then the more they can push an agenda on what they want you to see. Do they want you to see negative content? Do they want you to see, oh, it's okay to be unhealthy, it's okay to do these negative things? So there's really a lot that goes into it, and that's a total different topic. But I think it all boils down to the access that people have to social media. And I think that's why there's all these hate comments, all these people. But at the same time, though, I think there's always a ratio, and everything is statistical. Even though there's millions of hate comments and it's increased, also the amount of positive things has increased as well. I will say that it's not all
Yeah,
negative.
I agree.
The Never before has there been this many kids focusing on their mental health, especially young men. Never before has there been this many people wanting to make a difference, wanting to inspire and change. However, a lot of them get stuck in the self-improvement trap and fall victim to it. But it's better than wasting your time consuming negative content. So it's just about getting them on the right path. They're on the right path. Now they need to take action. And this leads me into another topic. This is a big issue that I have with doing social media. Sure, I can post motivational content all day long, but nothing matters until somebody takes action upon what I say. And
Mm.
it is probably the most tedious thing that I deal with, is because I can say something that resonates with a lot of people. They take it to heart. They know that if they took that first step, if they took action, they'll be able to do what they want. But they fail to do so, and they just scroll on to the next video. They scroll on to the
Yeah.
next video. They continue consuming motivational content, consuming inspirational content, but do absolutely nothing about it. And that is the issue that we have more so than anything else nowadays, is that simple fact on people not doing anything. Because it's easy to scroll all day. It's easy to be on your phone. It's because you're getting instant gratification and instant dopamine. So, why would you go? Why would you go do
Yeah.
something? Why not just scroll all day?
Yeah. What's the point of going through the reward or going through the struggle if I have it on my phone right there? That's what most people think because it's easy. It's the easiest thing that you could possibly get. It's the easiest dopamine that you could ever get in your life. And sure, it's cheap dopamine. It's cheap as shit because the reward of actually winning, of actually achieving, and actually accomplishing is a much better reward than scrolling through your phone and finding a funny video. it's interesting because a lot of people are just too goddamn lazy to actually try and achieve that big reward. It's like taking $1 million over the $10 million. And the only thing that's separating that and separating the difference of choosing the easier option is because it requires effort. And most people in this world don't want to put in any effort in life. And I think that's another thing with this young generation is that we're seeing a nation of hardworking individuals. I would say a 1% of people, 2%, whatever, that are actually really driven, that actually want to change their lives, that actually want to put in the work, that are willing to go early nights, or sorry, early mornings and late nights and put in everything they got. And then there's a very, very large majority of people who don't give a shit and they're just there to live day by day. And eventually we kind of know where that leads to. Either you're homeless, you're working a 9 to 5, you're trying to survive. And it's a path that we've seen for generations. And I think that I don't want to say a revolution, but I think that this generation is a big stepping stone because, like you were saying, everyone is on this motivational kind of mindset now. A lot of kids are, especially my generation, 17, 18, 19, 20, are really motivated. They want to change their lives now. And they're super, super excited to do it. Obviously, there's going to be people that aren't, but these people want to change their lives. And the only thing that's stopping them is taking action right now. And they just need to take the action. They need to put in everything they got. Anyone could do it. All you have to do is just put in the work. That's it. Yeah, it's something we need to do. What do you think will help people start taking action? Like what do you think helps them get into that
That
point where they just take action?
that's a very interesting question, and I think it boils down to the true intention of what they want. What is that true intention? Do you is it that you want money? Is it that you want success? Is it that you want fame? If you want any of those three things, then you're never going to be happy.
Mm.
It's not about why you want the money. It's not about why you want the success. It's about what do you truly want to gain from it. And with me, this is something that I always talk about, and it's always on my mind 24/7. If you go into my room, it's all over my walls. I wrote down on pieces of paper and taped it on there. It just has legacy on it. Legacy, legacy, legacy. When I wake up, I think to myself, okay, what am I going to do today that's going to contribute to my legacy? Because at the end of the day, we'll all die, but what happens afterwards? Me, I will never die. I'm gonna be here forever. My energy will always radiate, and I say this because of what I'm doing right now. Sure, I'm only 18 years old, but I'm living proof that you can truly do anything. I'm 18 years old. I have a house. I do all forms of social media. I'm already running multiple online businesses, and I'm actually making an impact on countless lives. I'm not some get rich quick guru. I'm not someone that teaches you, oh, do this one task and you'll make $1 million. No, that's not what I do. What I do is genuinely making a difference, teaching people how to fortify their mind and get a true and honest mindset. And it's about your intention. Why are you wanting to make money so bad? Why are you wanting to go drive rich and fancy cars? Why? Why? Is it because it's a true passion that you want, or because that's what you see on social media? Which one is it? Why? And
Mm.
so I think when you have true intention on what you want and what you're trying to accomplish, then you're gonna go far. And with me, I don't want to be known for just that one guy who sells a basic product. I want to do so many different things, whether it's social media, to boxing, to music, to no matter what, playing sports, no matter what the case is. I have over 90 things on my bucket list, and none of them are basic. I want to go skydiving. I want to go swim with dolphins. Like this stuff are levels that people spend their entire lives working towards. I'm
Mm-hmm.
wanting to accomplish things that people spend their entire lives just accomplishing one of these things. And so
Mm.
I want to show you that when you really put your all into it and have true and honest intentions, you're going to go far. You're going to achieve anything that you set your mind to. And I'm only 18 years old, so I got a long road ahead of me. And that's the biggest criticism that I get. He's 18 years old. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, he
He's
doesn't
too
know
young.
anything.
Exactly. He doesn't have, I'm sure you experience it as well.
Oh yeah.
And they say you don't have the life experience. But guess what? You don't know that. And then they'll
Mhm.
also say, oh, he comes from a rich background. His parents are rich. No, the average person on the internet is not going to acknowledge somebody for actual hard work and dedication. They're going
Yeah.
to assume that because they're successful, it got handed over to them.
Hmm.
They had life in Israel. They don't have trauma. Oh, I can't do this because I have trauma. People don't know what I've been through. I don't say it publicly because there's no reason for me to. I'm not going to play the victim game. I'm who I am because I choose to be this individual, not because, oh, these past events happened, so I'm a depressed person. Oh, I have ADHD. I have depression. I have all these negative mental health things. At the end of the day, you choose. Now, I'm not saying mental health is not an issue because it is. But in order to fix it, the first thing you need to do is start with right now in this present moment. What habits do you have? Take a look at yourself and think. What do you do when you wake up? What is your first thought? What is your first action? Is it to grab a phone and consume, or is it to get up, stretch, and ground yourself? So, what is it that you're really doing? So, it's a big, massive thing when it comes to mental health, and everyone nowadays has depression. It's normal to be depressed. It's normal to have all these mental illnesses. It's normal to be medicated. Versus back about 50 years ago, only a very small population had these issues. And once again, it all ties in to the beginning of social media, the impact that it has.
Hmm. There's this video that I saw of a Buddhist on a TED Talk, and he said that look at the Spartans, look at all these people in our past, these incredibly talented and hardworking and legacy building individuals. And he said, do you think those people had depression? Do you think that those
Exactly.
people had those issues? Had, oh, I don't want to go talk to the person because I'm too scared about ordering my coffee. Can you do it for me? Like, bro, oh my God. Like, do you even hear yourself? It's crazy because these people in our past could not even think that way. They were worried if they were going to get their next meal. They were worried if they're going to die in a war. And you're worried about this small, little, tiny thing. Who gives a shit about it?
Well,
What?
my online girlfriend broke up with me.
Yeah,
Get over it. Who cares at the end of the day? It could have been a 40-year-old dude for all you know. Who cares if they broke up with you? It doesn't matter. It
exactly.
doesn't.
It's crazy, man, how the mindset has shifted and how society has gotten so weak. And we are just in this point where people are just trying to find out what is for them. And it's so difficult nowadays because there's so many goddamn distractions that are distracting you from doing it. There's this is
I
a
would,
different top. Oh, go ahead.
I would also like to make a point about this. People are distracted and complacent. And
Mm,
then they complain, oh, I have all these different issues, this and that. Here's my philosophy on it. I have a legacy that needs to be created. Every single day, I'm adding on a new building block to this project. I'm always working towards the next level. I'm always working on what's the next step. I don't have time to be upset or be depressed. I don't deserve to be sad. I don't deserve these things. People are,
yes.
as you just said, they're struggling to have their next meal. They're struggling to get water. They're struggling to even walk and move because they don't have legs or arms. Like they have some type of actual disability and stuff.
Hmm.
What gives me the right to be sad? I don't deserve to be sad.
Yeah.
The only thing that I deserve is to have adversity come my way and actually show what I'm capable of doing. That's the only thing that I deserve. And it's a massive thing is I don't have time to be sad. I don't have time to feel sorry for myself.
Mm.
Now, I'm not saying that you should never be sad. I'm not saying you have to always be this in the zone
Yeah.
24/7.
Yeah.
However, if that is a consistent regular mood that you have, something must change.
Hmm. I agree. Yeah, and that's the thing because I used to have this kind of idea or this kind of mindset. It was a negative mindset. I've changed it, but um, it's the mindset of oh, never, no one could ever understand what I'm going through. No one understands this point in my life right now, this depressing point in my life, and, and it's so untrue. There's so many people that are experiencing what you're experiencing, so much more than you actually think, and that one thing that you're worried about, like compared to the bad things that you could be worrying about, it's nothing. It's barely anything. That person that's experiencing that would trade their life for yours to experience that issue that you're having. So it's difficult for people to have this mindset because they've never experienced that type of trauma or that type of issue before. Everyone has their own issues, everyone has their own challenges, but if you compare someone living happily and healthily in the United States compared to someone, in a very, very poverty rated country, lives are going to be totally different. One's going to be working incredibly hard to try and live, and the other is sitting on their couch watching TV. It's
And
different kind of comforts.
one's going to be living off of unemployment, getting mad because they didn't get another stimulus check.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
didn't work for it. You don't deserve it. You've done absolutely
yeah.
nothing, and you're demanding that. The government's the reason why I'm not where I want to be, because you're allowing them to control you. You are putting all of your hope and faith into a system that doesn't have your best interest. So
hmm
who do you like? You have to work for it. Nothing in life is free.
Yeah, that's the hardest thing for most people is putting in work. And it's obviously, like I said before, people don't want to do it because it's too tiring, it's too much. It's too much. They don't want to put in the time to do that, and they'd rather take the easy route. Why take the hard route? The mentality that you need to do the work is that and every single person knows this, that they need to put in time, effort, and consistency. Three things: time, effort, consistency. You can also put in discipline as well. But the important part of it is you need to put in the effort, and you need to know the elements of putting in the effort and staying with it. If you work, and this is something that also helps me believe that I could do anything. If I sat down or went to the gym, whatever, for 5 to 10 years straight, very consistently, very disciplined, I'm going to be in great shape. I'm going to have a successful business. I'm going to have a better place, a better position than I did before. And that's what most people don't realize. It's so much simpler than you think, people. Sure, getting that medical degree, getting that passing the bar, whatever. It's difficult. It's going to be difficult, and it's a hard challenge to go through. But you know what you need to do. You know the effort that you need to put in. You know the time that you need to put in. So what's stopping you? What is stopping you from doing that? You know exactly what you need to do. Just do it. It makes no sense.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's something, man. I hope people can fix their mindset. I hope that this episode's helping people, get that kind of mindset. Um, do you think that the education system might have an impact into this?
I think the education system, at least in America, I didn't do school in other countries, so I'm completely uneducated on that. The education system in America is completely corrupt. It's completely worthless. It's pointless. It's I think it's more so than the education, but also the environment. I think it's
Mm,
the environments that we're putting children into, including myself when I was in school, are terrible. They're absolutely terrible.
yeah.
Sit down, don't speak, raise your hand to go to the bathroom. If you should have gone before class. If you want to go to the bathroom, you have to sit there and you can't go. Otherwise, you're gonna be in trouble for it. If I got to do something, I'm gonna go do it when I want to do it. I'm not gonna wait on for some 40-year-old teacher who's been through their third divorce, who's pregnant with their sixth child, tell me what to do. I'm not gonna let that happen.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of respect for teachers. Let me say this before I come across as disrespectful. Teachers don't understand the system that they're placed into. They have the average teacher has true intentions of helping you and guiding you to become a successful adult.
Yeah.
And if you are disrespectful to your teachers, you are a negative person. Be very kind and positive to your teachers. However, the system itself is so bad. They want, for example, if I'm solving the cure for cancer, okay, I'm going to use the internet as a resource. I'm going to collaborate with others. I'm going to use the internet to do the math for me. I'm not going to do it by hand and by myself. Oh, well, I got to learn how to do this. I'm going to collaborate. They don't want you to work in teams. No, you are tested based on if you can do this, and this is going to determine your level of smartness. This is going to determine your IQ. For example, with me, I was very good at math and science. I was also pretty good at social studies, but not so much. And then with English, it was absolutely it's dog water. Sure, I don't know how to properly speak, and I'm pretty illiterate. The English is terrible. It's terrible. They want you to think a certain way. Same with social studies. When it comes to history, history is only written or wrote. Once again, maybe I need to go back to English class. History is only written by those who won and those who lived to actually write it. And so, how do I know what to believe? I mean, you can look in the day and age that we live in now, and all these different things and situations are already being manipulated in front of our eyes. I mean, I'm not trying to get anyone canceled here, but I mean, you look what happened back in 2020, and you see all the manipulation and mind games that they played on us. But now they're saying, oh yeah, we did that. But that's it. They've straight up just admitted it and said it publicly. And also, I don't want to go into detail about it because it's the internet. But yeah, I think the education system is absolutely terrible. I think it's teaching you basic things such as basic math, basic English, basic writing. Yes, you need to know.
Yeah.
But a lot of it is programmed to where they force you to go to college. They want you to go to college, get an immense amounts of debt, and then work your entire life to get it back. And not to mention college itself, because college is the most influential years of your entire life. Think about it. You're still a kid, but you have the freedom of an adult. Mm-hmm. You're the most sexually active. So what do you think is going to happen to the average kid in college? I think college is good if you want to be a doctor, a lawyer, or something of that sense. I don't want you don't worry, I watched a 5-minute craft on how to do heart surgery. You're good, dude. Don't worry. But I think other than that, I'm getting a marketing degree. I'm learning how to do business. Just do it. I'm 18 years old. This is my college. What I'm doing right now, I'm learning. I've only been doing what I do for about 8 months, and I've made tons of amounts of progress. And there's a lot more progress to make. I'm only getting started. I'm not saying I know everything. Take what I say with a grain of salt. But college and school there's something about it, and it's all about controlling the masses and manipulating everything. That's what it's really all about what it boils down to. I mean, look at it. If you don't know who John D. Rockefeller is, go do your research. So
yeah, there's a quote from Rockefeller where he says, "I want a nation of workers, not a nation of thinkers." And this is something because he was a big influence in the creation of the education system. Why do you think that the education system has stayed the same for so long? Because they want a nation of workers, not thinkers.
Exactly.
They don't want people to think of, I'm going to start my own business. They don't want people to think about all these kind of self-employed kind of mindsets, because then you're not working for them. So
and when you think about it too, not everyone can be self-employed. That's another thing as well. So it's a blessing but a curse. I think it's wrong morally. I think it's terrible. It's bad. However, game's the game. As I always say, game's the game. The people who are unwilling to do so the things that I speak about, if they're unwilling to apply it to their life, then that's their fault. Game's the game. Yeah. I'm not saying I'm right on everything, but I'm telling you right now, you're going to have a much better life than if anyone else tells you what to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's going to be winners and losers in life, and that's something that people need to accept, because everyone wants to have the fancy house, the nice cars, the nice watches, all this stuff, and it's a very materialistic idea, and I don't think that's something that you should fully embrace and say, I can only be happy if I had all this stuff. I'm only going to embrace my journey once I finally get that. Sure, those are great achievements to have. I would say that because very few people have that. Sure, okay, fine. But a lot of that kind of mindset can get in the way of actually appreciating how life is. And that's something that I wish people kind of stop doing. With my point in life, I'm not a millionaire. I'm in the best shape of my life right now, but I know that there's improvement. I know that there's a bunch of stuff that I could be doing, and all I need to do is start doing it. something that people need to realize is that you're always going to have room to improve. That person who is in an amazing position in life still has room for improvement. Every single person in this world is not their 110% best self. Everyone needs to try and put in the effort to become their best self. And most people will get close, most people won't, most people won't even try. So separate yourself, because would you rather be the person that actually tried or the person that just sat there the whole life doing nothing? Who do you think is going to have the better book? Who do you think is going to have the better story? The person that actually tried, that put in the effort.
And I mean, look back at this podcast in 5 years. I'm telling you right now, both of us, we're gonna have improved massively.
Yeah.
Because we're putting in the effort now. Sure, we're young and we're new to the game, but ladies and gentlemen, this is how it starts. It starts right here, right now, in this present moment. And so, anytime anyone criticizes anybody for trying to become the best version of themselves when they're a kid, that makes zero sense. You don't start when you're 25. You don't start when you're 30. I'm not saying you can't start then, but why would I wait? Oh, well, I need the age and I need to get older. That's bullshit. That makes zero sense.
Yeah, it's a lot of people think that they just need to wait a little while and just wait till it comes to them. No, man, it's not gonna happen. You can wait. You can keep waiting.
I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna continue eating junk food. Oh, I'll eat healthier next week. I'll work out next week. I'll do it tomorrow. Boom, heart attack, dead at age 40.
Yeah. You never know. Tomorrow could be your last day. A week from now could be your last day. You never know what's gonna happen. So why are you waiting? Why are you waiting? There's no point into waiting this long for this grand thing to come to you. The only way, and sure, there's people that are very fortunate and very lucky to have a very successful family, or someone that has given them a bunch of money, whatever. Sure, there's people out there. But most of the people, and this is something, I read a book called The Millionaire Next Door. Great book. I hope you guys, and I recommend you guys read it. And it analyzed that most people that become millionaires are self-made millionaires, which is very interesting. Most of the millionaires in the country are self-made, meaning that they didn't get from their family, from friends, whatever. They made that money. They achieved that goal on their own. And sure, people helped them. They had employees and managers, but they built something to get to that point by themselves with that mindset and continually working. And this is something that I believe. Like we've been saying, I believe I can do anything. I believe that I could have a successful podcast career. I believe that if I really wanted to, I could go into the NBA. I could become a politician. I could do whatever. The thing is that people need is that kind of self-assuring thing where someone's telling them, oh, this is what you need to do. That's the thing that people have issues with. They're waiting for someone to tell them what to do, and they don't have the guts, the balls to actually try and do it themselves.
If someone is seeking validation from others for their own goals and ambitions, you're never going to achieve them.
Yeah.
And I think it's a little cringy when they're like, work in silence, ghost yourself from everybody. But don't tell everybody your plan. For example, as I say, I have a bucket list of 90 different things, but I'm not going to tell you, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Because then that's just ruining the validation.
Defeats the purpose.
The gratification. Because also I can say things I have planned upcoming soon, but things that I have even planned down the road, I'm not just going to publicly say. You got to wait. I'm going to show you instead of telling you. Show, not tell.
Yeah. Another thing is, most people don't give a shit about what you're listing. They're just gonna be like, oh, okay,
Exactly.
yeah, sure, yeah, you're gonna do that totally, 100%. Until you actually fucking prove them wrong and actually do it, that's when they're like, oh shit, what just happened? Look at him now, whoa. People don't understand that you could say all these great things, and this is something, scientifically researched, that if you do tell people what you want to accomplish or these goals that you're going to accomplish, then it kind of just releases that feeling that you've already accomplished it when you haven't. So you need to achieve the goal. Don't tell everyone that, hey guys, look at me, I'm gonna try and do this great thing that everyone else is trying to do. And then you just stop, because you need to make promises to yourself that you can keep. You can't just tell yourself and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be able to do this when you're not even trying. You're not even putting in the work to do it. Every single person listening to this episode and listening to this wants to change their life. They want to have a good, successful life. Leave a legacy for themselves, leave a legacy in their bloodline, show that they put in effort. Every single person here. Let me tell you the things that you need to do. You need to have discipline. You need to have consistency. You need to have effort. You need to be dedicated as shit. You need to be dedicated. You need to put everything on the line. Every single successful person in the world has sacrificed, has put in everything that they have. They went all in. And look at them now. Most people, I've researched this and I've researched that a lot of people. This is kind of a cringy thing to bring up, but Mr. Beast, right? The most successful content creator on the platform right now. And sure, Mr. Beast is very kiddie content. I don't watch him a ton, but this dude has literally accomplished and conquered an entire platform of billions of people. 200 million followers is or subscribers he has on all of his channels. If you think about this, in his past, he said that he dropped out of college. He stopped doing college, and he said that if this doesn't work, I'm fucked. If this doesn't work, I'm screwed. Look at him now. I'm not saying that you need to risk all your finances for an investment. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that you need to be willing to sacrifice what you want to achieve what you want.
And I want to speak about that, about putting pressure on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm under the most pressure I've ever been in my entire life. I'm on the verge of being homeless. Just because I have businesses doesn't mean I have money. And I want to make that very clear. I'm under the most pressure I've ever been in my entire life. My parents moved to the other side of the country about 8 months ago. I had the decision to move with them, leave everything behind, and continue everything being paid for me, or stay here on my own. I chose to take the hard route. So I've been living on my own completely and entirely for about 8 months now. And I would not be where I'm at now if it weren't for this, because I'm being pressured. I have the time, I have the energy, I have the youth, but I don't have the money. So if I need to focus on harnessing the energy from all three of these aspects and applying it, and not everything is about money. I know if I trust the process, I'm going to obtain the money. But you have to take the risk or you'll lose the chance to. I have so much pressure under me, but I'm not stressed. I don't go to bed scared about what might happen tomorrow. I go to bed excited, ready for the adventure. I'm ready. When I tell you I'm hungry, and this is the thing is people aren't hungry, and I mean that physically, but also mentally. For example, I don't eat until I deserve to be fed. Be living on my own, I have to scavenge for food. I can't have mom making me food every single night. Like there's times where I'll eat just straight up mozzarella. I know it's so basic, but literally, bro, because I don't know how to cook. I'm not Gordon Ramsay. And so I say this where you have to be hungry for it mentally and physically. You have to mentally want it enough. If you're not putting that pressure on yourself, if you're not putting the pressure on yourself, then you're not going to get there. And I have the mindset where if I don't achieve what I want, then I didn't want it enough. And I know a lot of people say, well, don't be hard on yourself. Don't be this and that. I'm not hard on myself. I just keep it real. And by me keeping it real and putting the pressure, I always win. And I can't lose. You can take away my house, you can take away my food, and I'll still win. As long as I live to see another day, I can't lose. It is impossible for me to lose. And it's not me being egotistical. It's not me being cocky. It's the fact that if I want something, I can get it instantly.
Yeah. It's a mindset that most people don't have, and they don't realize that wherever you're from, whatever position, people have accomplished it in better and even worse positions than you. Many people that have become very successful have been in very, very difficult places. A very popular person that I've mentioned numerous times on the podcast and everyone knows is David Goggins. If you haven't read his book, I highly recommend it. Yeah, Stay Hard. And at the beginning, I'm gonna let you guys figure it out for yourselves. I'm not gonna spoil the whole book. I'm not sponsored by him or anything, so obviously, but I'm just saying, people will understand. Or the people who are listening to this that have actually read the book will understand how much trauma, how much difficulties he has went through. That dude went through so much shit. It's crazy how much he has went through, and to see what he's achieved. you have to realize that whatever position you're in, you might be in a better position than someone that's trying to do the same and try to achieve the same goal. Why are you complaining? Why are you waiting? Why are you so worried about this? Dude, this dude that has barely any resources compared to you has the same goal and they're doing better than you. Why are you waiting for all this stuff to come to you? You have what you need. And this is something everyone has what they need deep down. They just need to unleash it. They need to uncover it. They need to dig it out of the dirt and find it and deliver that and put that in. Because everyone can be disciplined. Everyone can put hard work. Everyone can wake up at a certain time. Everyone can go to sleep at the same time. Everyone can eat healthy. Everyone can go to the gym. Everyone can work on that business. Everyone can stay after and work on that job. Everyone can. You guys and everyone can. Just what's stopping you is your laziness, your tiredness, and the fact that you don't want it enough. It's that simple.
Exactly. I mean, especially if you're actually watching this right now, you can't make the excuse where, oh, well, there's people where, they can't. I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about you specifically.
Yeah.
You person on the other side of the screen, you gotta start doing something.
Yeah.
Because like you have the ability, you have access to the internet. A lot of people don't have access to it.
Yeah.
So you gotta really think about it. The people who consume my content obviously have access to the internet. So there's no excuse. I don't have the resources. Yeah, you do. You have the internet. It's completely free.
Oh, hold up. You froze. Okay, there we go. I'm fixed. I'm fixed. You're good. You got it out. Hold up. But yeah, it's a mindset that a lot of people need is just to put in all the effort. I saw a video recently on Instagram. I want to find it real quick. I don't know why Instagram makes it so you can't look at likes, but I need to find it. It's very strange to me. Anyway, I don't think I'll be able to find it actually. But either way, this video that I saw, I wish I could credit the person who made it, but they were saying that with the technological advancements that we're making in life, that there's going to be a very major divide. There's going to be the people who are consumers and the people who are actually making the things for people to consume. With technology, with social media, with all this stuff, this is a great example. With the stuff that we're doing right now, this podcast, your content, my content, everyone's content, all these social media influencers, they're not necessarily consuming content. They're making the stuff for you to consume. And whatever they're making, if it's gaming videos, if it's self-improvement videos, there's good and bad things that you consume. It's like eating healthy. You could pick the junk food, which is this goofy prank videos and this junk, or you can pick the healthier option, which is educational videos and things that are going to change your mindset. There's a big divide, and there's going to be a place in time where there's consumers and there's producers. You need to find out where you are. You need to find out where you want to be. Most of the people listening, you guys don't want to be a consumer, do you? Do you want to be the person that sits there and just watches videos, waits for, them to get evicted? They're just waiting, and they're just waiting, and they're just waiting, and eventually it happens. Or eventually they just get kicked out, and they just didn't accomplish anything. You have to try and be a producer. You need to try and do something that is going to benefit you. So why do you continue to do the bad things?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. How do you think, and this is a question I'm sure many people are asking while I just said that, is, okay, well, how do I stop being a consumer? What would you say?
Get off of the internet.
Yeah, it's as simple.
Get off of social media. Start doing something. I mean, it's as simple as that. Go for a walk. Go for a run. It all starts with clearing your mind. Get that mental clarity. This is a big thing that I talk about, and what I'm known for doing is helping you find your purpose in life. Before you even start a business, before you start social media, get clear and develop a vision. What is it that you really want to do? What are you good at? How can you help the world? And what do you have a passion for? Combine these aspects together to formulate your purpose. Figure out what it is that you really want, and then go from there. How is an airplane going to fly you somewhere if you don't even know where you're wanting to go? It's
Mm.
as simple as that. So you need to gain direction, gain direction, and then take action. It's as simple as that. But oh, so people don't want to go through the process of actually creating that vision because it's already so clouded and they're so held back by their devices, by social media, and by themselves because of their insecurities.
Mm.
I want to be a YouTuber. I want to be a TikToker. I want to dominate the stock market. I want to make self improvement content. I want to be a business dude. None of it's going to happen unless you get clear. And you're not going to be good at it unless you get clear either. I see a lot of people, they start businesses to make money off of it. Money is the number one goal. I'm going to start this so I can become rich. If you start a business for the sake of money, you're going to fail. And I can almost promise you that. Because if you are starting a business just for the sake of money, you're not going to have passion for it. There's no passion behind it. You don't really enjoy it. What is the difference between that and a normal 9 to 5 job?
Mm-hmm.
There's not really going to be a difference. So before you even go about starting that business, starting whatever it is that you're wanting to do it because you have a passion for it, because you want to do it. You know what your goal is, and you know what you want. You know what the end point is. Then you can start obtaining that. But people don't even know what they want. They're so clouded and clueless because of everything else that is going on. Just focus and then go from there.
Mm-hmm. One thing, and we mentioned this before earlier, and we said that the people that are hating are always going to be saying, you know, oh, how is this person able to speak about this? They don't have this, they don't have that.
What?
Yeah, they don't have the money, whatever. Here's the thing, everyone knows how to become that person. Everyone knows how they could become a millionaire. Sure, they don't know the exact business that they have to go into, the exact business plan that they need, but they know that they need to work hard, they have to network, they need to do all this stuff. They know what they need to do. Deep down, everyone does. Everyone does know, but they just don't put in the hard work. And the people that hate on us, because I've gotten comments that you were mentioning, because I made a video that if you want to be a millionaire, you know exactly what you need to do, exactly what I just said. And someone said, "Are you a millionaire? Are you a millionaire?" And I had a couple comments saying that. I'm like, "Sure, I'm not. I'm not. But I have the mindset and I understand how you can be because you do too. And you're just too goddamn egotistical to not let that in, to not let that sink in. Because that's another thing, and I'd love to touch base on this. So many people are so egotistical and they can't accept any advice or any criticism because they're so scared about hurting their feelings, and they're so scared about it. Um, it's have you seen that? Have you seen people that have that? They're not humble.
Yes, many people. I see people who come from all backgrounds who are basically snowflakes. And if
Yeah.
what I say is going to offend you, then that says something about you in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
But it's one of those things where if you get mad at somebody for posting positive content, bro, what are you doing with your time? That energy that you're devoting towards being negative, you could be doing so many great things. But the issue is that you don't have an actual outlet. You don't have a healthy way of dealing with your emotions, and that's why you lash out in anger the way that you do. And I have no negativity for anybody. Even if you leave a hate comment, I still love you. If you leave a positive comment, I still love you. No matter what the case is, I always have support for you. Even if I have people who tell me to go kill myself. I have no negative feelings towards them because I know if I was in their shoes, I'd be thinking the same way. However, the only times I will actually have a negative emotion towards somebody is if they pose a physical threat. Other than
Mm.
that, impossible for you to make me mad. It's as simple as that. But you just really have to just in order to get over the hate and the negativity, you need to not respond back with hate and negativity. Even if you commonly respond with negative comments, in order for you to feel happy yourself, you just got to stop commenting. You can think negatively about content. Oh, I don't like the way he looks. I don't like the way he acts. His hair sucks. Oh, he's got a dumb face. His clothing brand is bad. No matter what the case is, what you truly think, you can think that all you want, but commenting it doesn't benefit anybody really. All that's doing is you lashing out in anger and training yourself that it's okay to be a negative person. And people say, "Oh, I've been negative. I have depression. I have this." Get over it. That's not an excuse. And I know for a fact nobody goes through life purposely trying to be bad. Even villains, right? Nobody is trying to be a villain. Nobody's like, "Oh, you know what? I'm going to purposely not allow myself to gain benefit today." Nobody thinks that way.
No.
This also applies to things such as wars with other countries. Nobody is the bad guy. I'll use Russia and Ukraine for an example. Both of them fight because they both feel as if they are right. Nobody knows, "Oh, we're wrong and we're doing morally wrong. We're going to purposely continue." No, that's not how it works. They both have their own opinions, and these soldiers as well. And this is why I say this is a pretty controversial opinion, and only time will tell. I do not think we will have another world war. I don't think we will have another world war physically. Digitally, sure, but a war where you got men just stabbing each other back and forth, I don't think that'll happen, because back in the day, they fought wars because they believed in their side. Let's say America versus, let's say, Mexico, right? I'll just use it as an example. Back in the day, America only believed in what America thought because that was all that they were told. They only spoke to other Americans. I'll use, let's say, Germany for an example. And then the Germans only thought what they thought because that's what the German government told them. So they only knew what their government told them. So they fought based on that ground. So they thought the other people were actually bad. But nowadays, I can text somebody who's in Ukraine right now. I can text somebody in Russia right now. Nobody wants a war. Nobody wants to actually harm each other. But the only reason why they do is because of the greedy money people and because of the people at the top. So I say this in the fact, I don't think there's ever going to, I know this is really off topic, but I don't think there's ever going to be another world war. I think digitally, yes, but a physical one where people are dying in that sense, I don't think so. But maybe time can prove me wrong, but
maybe North Korea. I'm not sure. I'm just kidding. Maybe. But yeah, I agree. I think that we're in a day and age where everyone's connected. Even with the borders, there's still people that can connect. You can talk to someone in China, you can talk to someone in Taiwan. There's different countries that you can talk with people, and it's a united earth. That's something I wish we were more capable of, is just kind of not looking past the cultures, the beliefs, to seeing each other as human beings on a planet, on a spinning rock in an infinite universe. Like no one wants to think that way because it's like it's cringy, it's boring, it doesn't make any sense.
It's too positive.
Yeah, it's too positive. Yeah,
I can't be positive. I have to purposely be negative. It makes zero sense.
Yeah, it's crazy, but yeah, I agree, man. It's something that people really need to have is a positive outlook, and I wish people have that more. And the only way you can find that is by putting in what you need to put in and finding your true self and being proud of the person you've created.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, Coby, it has been an absolute pleasure having you on, my friend. I want to see, do you have any final message to the people here? You could shout out your socials, whatever.
August 31st, ladies and gentlemen, at 7 p.m., I'm hosting a completely free online event. It is going to be that day on August 31st marks 1 year since I've created everything I've created. Create your existence and create your legacy.
Wow.
And it also marks my 19th birthday. So I'd highly recommend marking on your calendars. Go follow my Instagram for more information. Go follow my TikTok, YouTube, all my socials. It's Coby, C-O-B-Y, _G-O. Coby Go. Very simple, pretty easy to access. You can look up Create Your Existence on the internet. I'm the first thing that pops up. Thank you for the plug. And yeah, like I said, I'm very thankful that you gave me the opportunity to be on here. I love talking. I love answering questions, and I love having discussion. I'm very thankful. So thank you, dude. I appreciate it.
Oh, it's been a pleasure, man. It's been a pleasure hearing your words, hearing your advice to the people here today. I hope that you guys have learned something today, learned something that you can improve on your life, something that you can change. And but yeah, man, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for coming on, and we'll see you guys in the next episode. Thanks, guys. Peace.